Imagine if I told the story this way, the Three Little Pigs story, in which the wolf comes and knocks on the door and says in a very pleasant voice, "Hello, little pigs, can I come in?" You wouldn't expect that from a wolf, unless he's being very, very clever and trying to impersonate someone else, which is quite possible. But then you don't expect a wolf to be very, very calm and polite and nice and, "Hi, little pigs." It's not something that the wolf would normally say. If you want the wolf to be threatening, that has to come in your voice, and that's why I use the voice, little pig, let me come in. I'm trying to scare the pig away before I blow his house away. You see what we're trying to do with voices? If we can give our characters a good voice, that would make it really interesting. And that would show how that character is feeling. So character voices are quite important in storytelling. Like the little pig who is scared, so "No, not by the hairs of my chinny chin chin." You see how your voice and your gestures of being scared, your face, your expression shows that you're scared. And just come naturally, just let it flow. Because when you're feeling scared, there's a particular way you're likely to speak, and you would like to exaggerate that a little bit for the story, right? So you have, "No, not by the hairs of my chinny chin chin," says the first two piglets. But when you come to the third pig, the third little pig, who's quite confident of his house and knows that his house cannot be blown away, you want to add a little more swagger to it if you want to, and say, "No, not by the hairs of my chinny chin chin." So he's confident, it gives attitude. You want that, right? So you want the characters to talk in a way that shows who they are. How do you build these character voices? Like for the villain character, we've seen villains in movies, villains that we like, we don't like. It's easy to pick up a tone from there. We already know what a villain usually in a story speaks like, and you want to just get that voice in, so then people immediately understand, yeah, this is a villain speaking, and a scared voice. So there are instances around you. You look around how people talk and make some references for yourself. This person talks this way. My teacher talks this way. The bully in my school, he talks this way. So you have different kinds of people talking in different ways, and you know then when to use that for a character. Character voices makes the story really interesting. And the more you can understand how does your mom speak at home when you're not doing any work and she wants you to do something and you've delayed it for the longest period of time. That's how Mama Wolf might speak to the little pigs. You want to bring that tone of voice in. So when you look around you and you've understood how different characters may possibly speak, then you bring that into your own storytelling. Okay, so this is one small exercise for you now. Think of any story. We've gone through some of the important elements of storytelling now. For you now, the important thing is to think of a story. Think of all the characters in that story. What is the setting like? Where is it set? Now, when we talk about setting, there's one more thing that I want you to remember is that the setting is also about time. Most of the times in a fairy tale or a story like the story of the Three Little Pigs, we would say once upon a time or a long time ago, and that's good enough. We don't need to exactly know whether it happened in 1956 or 2020. Because, it happened a long time ago. But then if you were to talk about a particular instance in history, like when did this war happen? When did the virus come? That's a particular year, and you can't change that. But for a fairy tale, it's good enough to say it happened a long time ago in a faraway place. That's it. So that's about the setting. So think about where your story is set and what happens in that story and what is the plot like. And then try and build character voices for each of the characters that you have. How would that character speak? That would be an interesting exercise for you to do. Think of it and go for it. Characters in different voices. Try that.